Hello and welcome to this Intermediate Vinyasa Yoga Flow practice. My name is Rachel and I'll guide you through this energizing flow class. As always, just select the right variation that feels comfortable for you and your body today. I'll give lots of different variations of everything that we do, so just choose something that is suitable. Let's begin in Shavasana. So lying all the way down on the mat, allow the feet to naturally and gently roll out to the sides, softening into the hips and the shoulders, making any last minute adjustments before finding a still and comfortable Shavasana. So taking a moment to arrive here into this space and onto your mat. Begin to notice the steady flow of the breath through the body. Moving from an unconscious breath into a conscious breath by noticing that rising and falling movement, maybe in the stomach or the ribs or the chest, wherever that you feel it the most. Direct your attention and your awareness to the physical sensations. And we'll place the hands onto the stomach to make a deeper connection with the breath. Spread the fingers wide, soften into the shoulders. On your breath in, feel your abdomen rising into your hands. And as you exhale, noticing the abdominal softening away from the fingertips. Inhale, stomach rises. Exhale and lowers. Inhale, rises. Exhale and softens. And then moving the hands a little bit higher up onto your rib cage. Inhale, feel the stomach expand and the rib cage open into your hands. Exhale, rib cage draws back together, the abdominal soften. Again, inhale, stomach, ribs. Exhale, ribs and stomach. Take one more breath this way. And then finally moving the hands up onto the collarbones at the base of your neck. This is where your lungs begin, way up here. Inhale, stomach rises. Rib cage opens, chest lifts up. Exhale, chest lowers, rib cage draws together, the abdominal soften. Inhale, stomach rises, rib cage opens, chest lifts up into the hands. Exhale, chest lowers, ribcage draws together, the abdominal soften. Take a few more breaths this way. And then we'll rest the arms again down by the sides of the body. As with all Vinyasa yoga practices, the foundation is the breath. The breath initiates the pace of the movement, enables easy transitions between postures. So the stillness that you feel in this moment here, allow that to move with you as you practice today. Do your best to keep the inhales and exhales equally long. And once you've experienced that physical sensation of the posture, then bringing your mind gently back to the breath again, to stay in the present moment. Take as many breaks as you need to. When you're ready to begin, let's reach the arms way back behind, bringing the legs together, point the fingers, point the toes, making your body as long as you can, like the very first stretch of the morning. And then bringing the knees in towards the chest, maybe have a bit of space between the two legs, and just start to gently press your lower spine into the mat and sway from side to side. From here, allow the knees to gently fall to the right side. Opening through the shoulder blades, broaden the collarbones. And then maybe extending the gaze towards the left side of the room. Well done, bringing the knees back into center. Neutralize the spine here first and allow the knees to fall to the other side. Extending the gaze towards maybe the right side of the room if the neck allows. Breathing deeply into this first spinal rotation. Well done, bringing the knees back into center. Neutralize the spine again, releasing the lower spine, lower vertebrae down towards your mat. As you exhale, lengthen both legs, press the soles of the feet towards the sky. The knees can be soft here. And on the inhale, release the heels back down towards your bottom. Exhale again, lengthen and press away, lifting the soles of the feet to the sky. Inhale, releasing the heels down. One more time. Exhaling, lengthening, pressing away. And inhaling, releasing the heels down towards your bottom. You can either roll to the right side and use your hands to help you sit upwards, or start to rock forwards and backwards. And we're using that momentum to lift ourselves all the way up into staff pose. Lengthen the legs out in front of you, soften the knees as much as you need to, and then moving the fleshy parts of your bottom out the way so we can really root down through the sit bones. Lengthening the spine, sitting up nice and tall, pulling up through the crown of your head. Take a big breath in and sweep the arms towards the ceiling. As you exhale, just folding over the legs, soften into everything, bowing the head down with no real intention to get anywhere. It's just really folding into the space that you feel is available. Taking a little sway from side to side, moving into tension, tightness that's within your body right here. Inhaling, sweeping the arms all the way back up, fine length through your arms into your fingertips, and then exhale again, bowing forwards. Let's take that one more time. Inhaling, reaching the arms up, way overhead, and exhaling, just moving and settling into that fold. Well done, bringing the chest away. We're going to go ahead and bend the right knee, allow the hip to externally rotate and open. So the sole of the foot now moves onto your left adductor, squaring the hips and the shoulders towards the top of your mat. Inhaling, sweeping the arms towards the sky again, grow tall. Exhaling, folding over your left leg. You don't have to be able to touch the toes or anything like that. Just really move into the space that feels good for you to move into today. Well done, bringing the chest away. With the use of your right hand, we'll scoop the knee back up and then step the foot completely over that left leg and flat onto the floor. Right fingertips press into the mat just behind your sit bones, and then sweep your left arm up as you breathe in again. As you exhale, sending the left elbow to the outside of your right knee and using that arm as a lever to revolve. So coming into another spinal rotation, these twists are really good for the digestive system, working inside out, and also will prepare the spine for the rest of the practice. Good to neutralize the spine. Keep the legs the same, just simply twisting the torso around to the left side and just a gentle bow forwards here. Good, we're going to continue around to the left side. Plant your left hand down, come onto the side of your left foot, the sole of your right foot, sweeping the hips up towards the ceiling, pressing out of that left shoulder girdle. And then coming back down to where we came from. Well done, extending the right leg forward, sitting up nice and tall in staff pose. Let's do the same on the other side. So go ahead and bend the left knee, allow that hip to externally rotate and open. Inhaling, sweeping the arms towards the sky, find some space through the torso, and then exhaling, we're folding forwards towards your right leg. Well done, bringing the chest away. With the use of your left hand, we'll scoop the knee back up and step the foot completely over, flat onto the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, plant those left fingertips just behind you, right arm lifts to the ceiling. And on your exhale, taking the elbow to the outside of that left knee, using that arm as a lever to revolve a little deeper, and maybe extending the drishti over your left shoulder. Wonderful. Neutralizing the spine, simply twisting around towards the right side. And then continue around to the right, plant your right hand down, come onto the side of your right foot, sole of your left foot, finding some space between you and the ground. Well, then coming back down onto the sit bones, extending your left leg forwards. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale again, bow forwards for the final time. This time now we're going to point the toes towards the top of your mat. And with your hands, just a gentle press down on the tops of the feet to stretch out the ankles and the toes. Well done, flexing the feet as we sit all the way back up. Taking the hands behind you, point the fingers down towards the feet, and then lift the heart upwards, extend your spine. I'm going to bend the knees, bring your feet closer, about hip distance apart. On your next breath in, lifting your sit bones away. So we're going to press equally into the hands and the feet. Take another big inhale here. As you exhale, we'll take our sit bones down towards the heels of the feet, starting to feel your shoulders opening. Inhale, come back into center, pressing equally between the hands and the feet. Exhaling again, moving the sit bones towards the heels. One more time. Inhale to center, lifting the sit bones and the hips a little bit higher. Good. Exhale, moving towards the heels of the feet. Well done. Placing your bottom into the center. Keep the hands behind you. Just lengthen the arms and lift the heart. We're taking one or both legs up to 90 degrees. Hands can stay here or support underneath the knees or reach the arms forwards. But if by changing your hand position, it means that you've rounded into the spine. Take your hands back to where they came from. Have a focus on elongating and shining your heart. Well done. With your peace fingers, so index finger, middle finger, let's take a hold of the two big toes. Equal leaning backwards to leaning forwards, we start to extend the legs. The legs do not have to be fully extended here. Give a softness in the knees if that feels a little more comfortable. Even in this position, we're focusing on lifting up through the sternum. Good, just two more breaths here. Find a steadiness with the inhales and the exhales, equal space. Well done. Releasing, crossing at the ankles, roll over the knees and stepping back to plank pose position. Let's take one full vinyasa. Shifting forwards as we breathe in, bend the arms, hover, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, opening the heart to cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, tucking the toes, sit bones lift up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Good, few breaths here, make the connection. And then with your right hand, we're going to reach out towards your left ankle, twisting around towards the left side. And then releasing the right hand back to where it came from. Left hand moves towards the right ankle, keeping the weight even on the right and the left side. And then taking that left hand back to where it came from. Lower the hips, come back into plank pose. Straight away, we're going to roll to the outer edge of your right foot and the side of your left foot, coming into a full Vashisthasana side plank. Left hand comes down through the vinyasa, shift forwards, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, roll back again into plank pose position, breathe in. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot and the side of your right foot into side plank. Right hand comes down, move through the vinyasa, shift forwards, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Taking the right leg up to the sky. Now we're going to bend the knee, open the hip, bringing that right hip on top of your left for scorpion tail. And now as you square the right hip down, we'll take the knee to the elbow on the right side. Good, step back, vinyasa, shift forwards, chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg sweeps up, breathe in. Bend the knee, open your hip for scorpion tail. As we square the left hip down, we'll bring the knee to the elbow left side. Good, step back, vinyasa, shift forwards, breathe in. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Well done. Let's take that right leg back up to the sky. Breathe in, bend the knee, open the hip. Flip your dog over, so taking the right foot behind, lift your hips up towards the sky. Good, come back into side plank with control. Maybe stagger your feet. Right hand comes down, vinyasa. The right leg up to the sky, breathe in. Step through the gates of the arms into lunge pose on this right side. Pressing out strongly through the back leg. Soften everything now as you come up to stand, and we'll hug the left knee in towards the chest. Placing the hands on the hips, extending the left leg behind. Try your best to keep the left and the right hip square to the ground. Good, soften into that right knee, stepping the left foot all the way back, returning back into lunge, and then hands come down to frame the front foot, step back, one vinyasa. Left leg sweeps up, breathe in. Step through the gates of the arms into lunge pose on this left side. Pressing out through the back heel, lift the heart. Soften everything, come up to stand, right knee moves in towards the chest. And then placing the hands onto the hips, pressing out through the sole of your right foot into your warrior three. Good, soften the left knee, stepping the right foot all the way back, coming back into lunge pose, lift the heart. Hands come down to frame the front foot, step back to plank, shift forwards through the vinyasa. Well done, taking the right leg back up to the sky. Again, step through the gates of the arms, fingertips place them just in front of your right foot, or maybe utilize some blocks if you have them nearby. You're going to shift the weight into your right leg and lift your left leg away. That left hip can open just as much as it feels comfortable. Good, again, soften everything. Left knee moves in towards the chest as you come up to stand. And then crossing the ankle over the right thigh. Bend deeply into that right knee, taking the sit bones low into chair. Well done, bring the left knee in towards the chest, come up to stand. And then taking the left foot all the way back, come back into lunge pose. Hands come down to frame, step back. Shifting forwards through the vinyasa. Left leg lifts up to the sky. Stepping through, placing the fingertips just in front of your left foot, or utilize those blocks again as we shift the weight into your left leg. Right leg sweeps up and way back behind you. Soften the left knee coming up to stand. And then crossing the ankle over the left thigh, sinking down into chair. This is a variation of chair, so feel free to cross at the ankles or keep both feet on the floor instead. Good, lifting back up, stepping all the way back into lunge pose. Hands come down to frame and step back through the vinyasa. Well done, taking the right leg back up to the sky, bend the knee. Flip your dog over, lift your heart upwards. Then coming back through side plank. Right hand comes down. Now bring your right knee to your elbow. Then to chaturanga. Push back up, step back to plank. One full vinyasa. Left leg sweeps up, bend the knee, open your hips, flip your dog over, lift your heart towards the sky. Good, and then come back to side plank. Left hand meets the ground, knee moves to elbow, chaturanga. Push back up, step back, through one vinyasa. Well done, let the knees come down. Sitting back, resting in child's pose. Take a moment to connect with your breath again. So moving from child's pose, return back to downward facing dog. Just taking a moment again to make that connection with the breath. Everything is centered around the breath, so try to stay in control of your breathing as much as you can. Let's all take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale, audible breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale, let go. Seal the lips. Inhale, exhale through your nose. So looking up to where your hands are, take a slow walk or a hop up to the very top of your mat. And then folding over your legs as you're exhaling. Softening into the shoulders, allow the crown of the head to descend towards the earth. Well done. So we're going to come onto the tiptoes, take our sit bones back towards the heels of the feet, and then open the chest, bringing the hands to heart center. Plant the soles of the feet down, interlace the fingers behind the spine, and then press that fist forwards as you take a deep forward fold. Softening into the knees as much as you need to here. Well done. Placing the hands back down towards the earth, and then coming all the way back down onto your sit bones. Peace fingers, let's wrap them around the two big toes, and then sending the legs towards the sky. Focus on lifting the heart in Navasana, boat pose. From here, release the toes, reach forwards, and then hover the shoulders, hover the legs in low boat. Coming back into regular boat, bend at the knees. Again, open. Pull back into boat. Let's go for 4 more. 3, 2, 1 more. Pushing forwards into Malasana, yogi squat. Take some space between the 2 feet, lengthening through the spine. Draw your thumbs to your heartbeat. If the soles of the feet aren't completely flat, then maybe you could rest blocks underneath the heels of the feet, or even just come onto the balls of the feet and have the hands rest there in front of you. Good. Placing your right hand down, lift the left arm towards the ceiling. And the left hand comes down, reaching your right arm to the sky. Well done. Return back to center. Folding over the legs, square the feet forwards, deep forward fold. Coming up onto your fingertips, extend your spine, pull the crown of the head forwards for a half forward fold. Good, taking the hands down, soften your knees, walk or jump back to Chaturanga. And pushing all the way back up, downward facing dog. Good, coming forwards to plank, bring your right knee to your elbow. Knee to nose, knee to left elbow, open to side plank, to face the right side of the room. Good, right hand comes down, immediately turn out towards the other side of the room for side plank, left side. Left hand comes down, 1 vinyasa. Left leg lifts up. Knee to elbow, left side. Knee to nose. Knee to right elbow. Straight away, open out. Side plank to face the left side. Left hand comes down, straight away, up and over to the right side. Good, right hand comes down. 1 more vinyasa, stay strong. Good, well done. Looking to where your hands are, take a slow walk or a hop up. I'm going to come into crow pose. So placing the hands just in front of you, spread your fingers nice and wide. Legs connect with the arms from the start. Have a drishti somewhere just in front of your hands. And then bend your elbows, tipping forwards, keep your drishti. Grip with your fingertips as you lean into your hands, your feet should lift away for crow. And then walk or shift back through the vinyasa. Well done. Rolling forwards to plank. Shift back to downward facing. Rolling forwards to plank. Shifting back, downward facing. One more, roll forwards to plank pose. Exhale, downward facing. Well done. Right leg lifts up to the sky. Step the foot through the gates of the arms. Resting the back knee down onto the floor. Release the hips down into that space that you have between you and the floor. Maybe a little sway side to side here. And we're keeping the left hand down. With the right hand, we're going to place it onto the knee. Roll onto the pinky toe side of your right foot so you can see the sole of your foot. And encourage that knee to open a little bit more. Well then, come onto the sole of your right foot. Walking the hands backwards, extend through the front leg and bow forwards. We bend the front knee, walking the hands forwards. Release the hips down, open the chest. And then exhaling, walking backwards, extend the front leg. Good, walking the hands forwards again. We bend the front knee, tuck the back toes, press out through the back heel. And then walking the hands around to the center of your mat, so around to the left side, and then stopping in the center, making that V shape through the legs. As you exhale, we'll bow forwards, taking the crown of the head towards the mat. And coming back up onto the hands, lengthen the spine, fully bend your right knee, shift the weight over and back to center. Again, fully bend the right knee. Try to keep the sole of your right foot flat and then back to center. One more time. Fully bend that right knee. Maybe even lift those left toes. Come on back to center. Walking the hands around to frame that front foot. Back knee releases down. Taking a little sway from side to side. And then we're going to shuffle the right foot a little further forwards. Noticing any strong sensations that arise here. Taking a moment to really breathe into it. If you feel like there's a little more space, we're going to extend the right leg a little bit more. Remember, no forcing and pushing, just being really mindful about how your body is feeling. Let's take that one more time if we can. So really scooching that right foot forwards. Maybe the left foot moves backwards into full splits. If you are in full split, the left hand will find the back leg and the right hand will find the front leg, revolving around to the left side. Well done. Placing the hands down to frame that front leg, tucking the back toes underneath, and back to downward facing dog. Left leg will lift to the sky this time. Step through the gates of the arms, resting the back knee down onto the floor. Let's start by taking that little shift from side to side. And then staying grounded through that right hand. Left hand moves onto the knee, encouraging the knee to open. Just make sure that you can see the sole of the foot. That flexion through the ankle helps protect the knee joint. Well, then coming back onto the sole of the foot, tucking the back toes underneath, press strongly out through that back heel, and then walking the hands around to the right side. Exhale, crown of the head releases down. Coming back up onto the hands, extend the spine, fully bend the left knee, shift the weight over to the left side. Inhale back to center, make that V shape through the legs. Again, rebend that left knee, maybe lift the right toes. Shifting back to center, one more time. Fully bend that left knee and come back to center, making that V shape. Walking the hands around to the top of your mat, release the back knee down onto the floor. Start to scooch that left foot a little further forwards. We have very different right and left sides of the body, so be super mindful and careful on this left side. Maybe there's a little bit more tension that's coming up and showing up for you. Maybe it actually feels a little easier on this side. Whatever feedback that your body is telling you, work with that. If you feel like there's a little more space, go ahead and shuffle that left foot forwards a little more, or right foot moves backwards. Spend a breath here, kind of moving into it, but using your hands to stabilize you. And then finally, if you're ready, we'll extend fully into splits. That's within our practice, so just stay with where you feel comfortable. And then back hand finds the back leg, and left hand finds the front leg. Well done, return back to center. Press deep into the hands, tuck the back toes, big push up. And stepping back to downward facing dog. Give everything a little shuffle from side to side. Well done, everybody. Okay, looking forward to where your hands are. Bend your knees, hop up and cross with the ankles, taking a seat. Good. Peace fingers wrap around the two big toes, lifting the legs up. Continue to breathe fully. Softening into your shoulders. Release the toes, hover in low boat. Pull back to boat. Back to low boat and boat. 3 more times. Cross at the ankles, walk or jump back, chaturanga. Push back up. And downward facing. Roll forwards again to plank pose. Shift back to downward facing. Roll forwards to Palakasana. Exhale, Mukha Svanasana. 1 more time, plank. And downward facing dog. Well done. So feet about hip distance apart for your downward facing dog. Let's take that right hand again towards the left ankle, revolving the torso around to the left side. Extending the right hand back out. Same on the left side. So don't worry if you can't quite reach the ankle, just reaching towards instead is perfectly fine. And then taking that left hand back to where it came from, downward facing. Step the right foot to the outside of your right hand, left foot to the outside of your left hand, sinking down again into Malasana and Yogi squat. Good, folding over the legs as you exhale. Deep forward fold. Turn the toes out, sink back into Malasana, open your heart. And folding back over the legs as you exhale. Well done, taking the sit bones down towards the mat, come back into boat pose, extend your left leg, pull the left knee back in, extend your right leg. Right knee moves back in, 2 more times each side. Keep working on lifting and opening your heart. 1 more time. Crossing at the ankles, walk or jump back, chaturanga. Push back up. Downward facing. Left foot outside of left hand, right foot outside of the right hand, sinking low in Malasana. We are almost there. Stay present. Stay with your breath. Folding over the legs, exhale. Good, now shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Bring the hands to heart center, bring the chest away from your legs. Awkward pose. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, fully fold over. Let's take 1 vinyasa before we step into Shavasana. Almost there. Last vinyasa. And then step forwards, sit bones come down, and we lie down in Shavasana. Well done, everybody. Allow the feet to naturally and gently roll out to the sides, softening into the whole of your body, feeling the support of the mat beneath you. And just spend a moment here to regulate your breath again. And when you're ready, bring the knees into the chest, a little sway from side to side. Extending both legs back up towards the sky. Cross your right leg over the top of your left And release the feet down. Taking both legs over to the left side into a spinal twist. Maybe add an extra bind around the calf muscle, encouraging your right shoulder blade to move towards the mat. And extend the gaze to the right side. This left hand can place onto the knee. And then use that to really draw both knees down towards the ground. So much deeper spinal rotation towards the end of your practice now. Well done. Unravel the legs, come back into center, extending both legs back up towards the sky. Cross your left over the top of your right, release the heels down, and then both knees move over to the right side. Encouraging your left shoulder blade to move towards the earth. Your right hand placed onto both knees, encouraging them to move down also. Wonderful. Bringing both knees back in towards the chest. Squeeze them in, bring the chin towards the chest as well. And then as you exhale, let everything just rest in Shavasana. Rounding the corners of your mouth up into a smile. And that smile is just for yourself, all the hard work that you just put in, and for spending the time connecting your mind, your body, and your breath together. And start to bring some more movement back into the body. Wiggling fingers and toes, blinking the eyes open. Becoming more aware of the sounds that are close by and the sounds that are a little further away as well. And then we'll reach the arms way back behind you. Bring the legs together, point the toes, point the fingers. Make your body as long as you can. And then draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself 1 final hug. We can either roll to the right side or use momentum to help us sit upwards. Coming into Sukhasana to close down the practice. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste.